Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long was 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975 and welcome to a system overview. This is a video I am very much looking forward to making. Buckle up, this is probably going to be a long one. This is something that kind of came out of left field. I don't think anyone was expecting this. This is Retro Games The Spectrum. Now, I heard the announcement in August. I checked my pre-order. My pre-order was on August the 24th, so I jumped straight on there and pre-ordered one. And I kind of like it when they do this, because obviously Retro Games prior to this have made the C64 Mini, the A500 Mini, the Atari 400 Mini. Who wanted that? The Commodore C64, can't call it Commodore, they don't own the name, the C64 Maxi, I think there's a VIC-20 in there somewhere. Did I mention the A500 Mini? Can't remember, can't call that an Amiga as well, and you can't call this Sinclair, but we'll get to that momentarily. So when they announce the pre-order or announce the launch and then you can pre-order and you only have to wait a couple of months, it's brilliant, because normally when they announce these things a year in advance, because as you know if you watch this channel, I love minis and I have most of them apart from the Atari 400 one, because who wants that? Yeah, the wait becomes absolutely excruciating for them. So this is a 1-to-1 replica with a full working keyboard. So they went the route of Maxi this time, straight out of the box. I don't know if that's because of the size of the system makes it easier to do so, or they at least knew the sheer amount of love that there would be for this thing, and therefore they should probably up their game. To be fair, their game is pretty good, but they should probably up their game if they're going to recreate the ZX Spectrum. So this was £89, which I really don't think is that bad. You don't get a joystick, or joypad I should say, with this one like you do with all the other ones, but to be fair, the whole point of, or most people's memories, much like mine, you know, nostalgia, is playing this with keys. Although this is accurate with all USB pads. I'm going to use an 8-bit DOE one on it because it is recommended because of the way it's set up. You can use your A500 mini pad on it, but you need to use one that has 4 face buttons, a start and a select, and shoulder buttons to get, you know, access to all the features. So anyway, I'll keep this brief, but anyone who knows me knows that my first true system, I mean I shared it with my brothers, but a machine of my childhood that made me a gamer, and still my favourite machine of all time was the original ZX Spectrum 48K rubber mat. I do have one somewhere, but I can't find it for the life of me, but I have seen side-by-side comparisons. I have not watched any videos on this yet. Side-by-side comparisons, and it is basically 1-to-1 size. But our dad bought it for us, I think it was second-hand, 1982, it was £175, brand new, wasn't it? But then there was a cheaper version if you build it yourself, much like the previous two machines, the ZX80 and the ZX81. There was also a 16K version. But yeah, he bought it for us thinking, you know, it's going to help us with our studies and stuff like that, because we were, you know, thanks to the computer literacy program by the government, we had been playing educationally, obviously, a BBC Micro B in school. That didn't happen. We discovered games, and then we discovered that his Amstrad Hi-Fi Centre would copy those games, and the rest was history. And the thing is, it was the little machine that it could punch so far above its weight. I'm not going to start an argument with the Commodore 64 kids, but I am. I'm sorry, I think graphically it looks better. Yeah, it doesn't have all the colours for Commodore 64. I mean, alright, that doesn't have attribute class, but what was with the browns? What was with the browns? But yeah, I just think the graphics on this have such a charm, and you know, towards the end of its life they were putting out absolute bangers. I mean, look at Chase HQ, look at R-Type. I'm probably repeating a bunch of stuff I've said in many gameplays before this, and you know, vlogs and waffles about the ZX Spectrum, but just absolutely loved it. And then my dad ordered, because they gave it almost a real keyboard. He ordered hey, maybe they should do an extra one of these with a different set of games, which is obsolete because you can load your own games, but I'll get to that later on, of the ZX Spectrum Plus. And a deluxe version where you get like a toast rack. But yeah, we got the Plus. My dad put the gubbins from our 48K in it. Yeah, and then we had a Plus, and then eventually we got a ZX Spectrum Plus 3, which doesn't count because it was an Amstrad machine. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. So let's have a look at the box. Now, there is a slight pet peeve for me on this because it is really nice. That Spectrum up there is embossed. We got the rainbow, we got the Spectrum. It's called the Spectrum because all the machines are called the, but they can't use Sinclair because Sinclair is owned by Amstrad, which is owned by Sky. You know, the television people. But I can live with that. We have on the sides here everything that it does if I put it up the right way. Save and resume games. Emulate ZX Spectrum 48K, 128K plus 2, plus 2A. Rewind up to 40 seconds of gameplay. Can't read that. Too dark in here. Thank you, Energy Light Saving Bulbs. Play games with one of 12 attractive themes. Yeah, borders are not for me. If you like borders, good for you. Now, 720 HD, 50 or 60 Hertz via HDMI. People don't call 720 HD anymore, do they? Apparently 720 HD is our new SD. USB connect your own devices, play your own games, and update the firmware. No firmware updates as of yet, but you can load your own games onto it. I will not be doing that for the purpose of this video. I will be checking this as in the box, because if you've seen any of my you know, reviews of retro games machines, it's incredibly easy to add games to it. Now, obviously, I have also finished. We should finish the tour of the box. I'm as excited as a child. Right. Rinse and repeat. No, that's contents. The Spectrum, HDMI, USB-C, special Crash magazine issue. That's only available for the UK version, this, because obviously that was the greatest magazine for the ZX Spectrum back in the day. A massive part of my childhood as well. And yeah, the fact that I think it does like reviews of all the games in here. Guff on the bottom we don't care about, and on the back 48 games including, 48 games included, featuring, and then it says a Crash Smash with over 35 Crash Smashes. Load your own games via USB. There's the list of games. I'm not going to read them out. I mean, if you want to read it, well, everyone knows what's on here anyway. Anyway, slight fucking pet peeve that annoys me. Now, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the box. The fact that it's a full working keyboard means attention to detail has been made, so I don't know if it's made to a cost or anything like that, because it seems to be very lovingly produced. But I know this is OCD in packaging with me, but you know your material you used for the box. You know that, yeah? Because obviously you had to cost it, source it, get it made and stuff like that. So when you stick these fuckers on it, yeah, and they leave all that gunk on the side of the box, and the box is so thin that I guarantee, I mean, someone can recommend something to me then by all means, but that if I use any form of spirit or any sort of device like that, or you know, like glass cleaning cloths or stuff like that, it's clearly going to lift the colour out of the box. I don't like that. I don't like that. That does annoy me. Anyway, what does this play if you load your own games? It plays TZX, which is a digital image of an actual tape which loads in real time. It plays tap files, which is basically it loads instantly, but I think there are 3 other formats that I can't remember. But another reason I bought this, apart from the fact that I was going to buy it anyway because it's a ZX Spectrum, is it loads a file format that I can't get to work on any of my emulators, because obviously you could emulate the Spectrum on anything, absolutely anything. I've got one on my 3DS, you know. I use my Wii. FBZX Wii is a great emulator because you can just plug in a USB keyboard. You can emulate on everything, but can't get the other 3 file extensions to work on there. And there's a bunch of games out there that I'd like to play, such as the original unreleased version of Total Recall on the ZX Spectrum. So that's another bonus for this. But obviously I was going to buy it because it's a ZX Spectrum. I am aware that I am all over the shop on this. So let's open this up and see what's in the box. Right, it is a nice box, but as I previously mentioned, I'm just not a massive fan of the fragility of it. Yeah, I said that. Other side, Dave, other side. Because when you use a really thin card, like this, that always happens. But let's not let that spoil the party. Ooh, this is possibly the most cardboardy thing I've ever smelled. Oh, that's embossed as well. That's really, really nice. It's embossed and it almost feels, well, the keys do, a little bit rubbery. No, look at that. If you don't think that is a thing of beauty, you're dead inside. So it's funny because the outside is so weak and flimsy, but one thing about retro games is the inside of their boxes is always done superbly. He says that. I can't get it out. Ooh, hello. I felt a bit cheap doing it like that. Oh, hello. Right, so there's some weight. There is actually some weight to this. And this is actually metal. So they've obviously, like a real Spectrum, bent it around. That's absolutely fantastic. Now I can tell you, and the noise, the tactile nature of that is just, for want of a better descriptive term, lush. Absolutely lush. But thanks, Roses. It feels so good. It feels like the original one. It really, really does. And obviously, the thing about the Spectrum was, because it was, that's where it says the Spectrum, that's, by the way, raised, as is retro. This feels like it's really, really, like, sturdily made. But thing about the Spectrum, if anyone, well, I'm assuming you know what the Spectrum is, if you're watching this, is, first of all, the space bar is there. So when people always say, why do you use M instead of space bar for fire when you define keys? And other people say, which is, you know, that space bar should always be fire. You could tell the kids who grew up with a 48K rubber mat and the kids whose first Spectrum was a +2, because obviously that had a proper space bar. The reason we used M was because you would use QA, OP, and M is fire. So you wouldn't obviously use space, and obviously you had no space there. Just thought I'd let you know, but it's got all the shortcuts and stuff like that. So you could do combinations of keys, you know, and not have to type out the full words and stuff like that. I cannot tell you how nice this feels in my hands. This feels absolutely fantastic. It's almost like I'll probably use a USB keyboard in it, because I don't want anything ever, anywhere, ever to happen to these keys here. They feel absolutely fantastic. So, oh, it's quite a low number as well. Read it if you want. I can't be bothered. It's too dark in here. But, so, speaker? It's got legs as well. Is the speaker because obviously, does it do the 48 beeper? Obviously it's going to come through your TV, but can you, I honestly don't know, I have not watched any videos on this. Can you do the beeper coming out the bottom of the machine? But yeah, like I said, this feels, this of all the machines that they've made, I only own 2, but I have had a go on a 64 Maxi. This feels the most solid and well constructed, and I really don't think that £89 is too much for it. Let's put that aside. So I've seen, because there was a whole bunch of people reviewing this from America and Spain, like last night on YouTube. I didn't watch any of them, but I know the channels to know where they're from. And I did watch an actual blog, not a vlog, where someone was talking about that. Obviously, they send influencers. I fucking hate that phrase. A different pack, and they get like a little USB stick that's shaped like a microdrive, which was Sinclair's, you know, proprietary disc system for this, even though it was a tape system. You know what I mean? And they actually get a ring-bound manual that resembles the original ring bound manual that came with the 48K Spectrum, and tells you everything that you can do with it. But there was another book, a thinner book, which this is not a representation of, but the colour, because I have it somewhere, is, and this is just a quick guide to using it. as you can see there, unpacking the Spectrum, setting up the Spectrum. We've already unpacked the Spectrum at this point, mate, because this is in my hands. Initial setup, games, carousel. But, cool, nice touch. And this here is a really nice touch, and it's Crash Micro Action magazine. And obviously, as I mentioned at the start of this video, Crash magazine was the best Spectrum magazine. It just had heart, an absolute boss artwork. But in this magazine, you get a review done in the style of the time. You get obviously information and stuff like that and little articles, but I believe, yeah, Manic Miner, like that wasn't going to be on here. Lords of the Midnight, so some are smaller than other ones, but basically every game that is preloaded on here has a little review in here. But this is just nice. Didn't have to do that. I believe this is an exclusive. I'm going to say this is an exclusive to the UK and not Europe, because I don't know, did they get Crash magazine in Europe? Probably not, because you don't speak English. But yeah, what a nice touch. Like I said, really, really nice touch. Bang on, Night Law. Yeah, you had to put an Ultimate Play the Game on here, didn't you? Yeah, really nice touch that. I really do like that. Another box. Yeah, like I said, why is the inside box so bloody sturdy and the outside box so flimsy? Don't be sealed. Right, so what do we have in here? USB. I did that on every one of these unboxings. HDMI, obviously, I got loads of those, and a USB-C, which I've got loads of as well. So that can just go straight back in. I do like the rainbow. Oh, it goes all the way around. I do like the rainbow. Attention has been put into the inside of this box. You can go back in, sure, as can you. As can you, because my OCD says so. So what do we have on the back? We have a home button, which you use in combination with the keys to do shortcuts, because I have, like I said, I've seen a few blogs on this. I didn't want to ruin it with videos, but I have seen a few blogs. You get 3 USBs, you get, well, 4 USBs, HDMI out, and then you get your USB-C in, and you get a power button on the back. So no pulling the power out, remember that? It shagged up many a 48K machine, because people would pull that out, wouldn't they, to reset it. Yeah, and it ruined them. So it was one of the reasons on the Plus that he put a reset button on there, and I think obviously they followed that up with the Plus 2 and Plus 3. But yeah, like I said, this feels amazing. This feels absolutely Jim dandy. So let's connect this up to the room, let's connect this up to the TV in the other room and see what the games are like. Right, so I've powered it on. I've got my 8-bit DOE pad plugged in, and let's go for English. Then A next, A select, B next. There we go. Obviously, it's got that's the optimal one for it, because these are all going to be 50 Hertz games, aren't they? B select. Oh, run. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot that. It does it on the A500 Mini. It has to test that your TV is compatible. Skip. Skip to the end. Or I could just accept it. So we are into the menu. So yeah, it's pretty much like other retro game machines. It's a carousel. Well, we know that because it says it in the manual. Cycle through at the bottom. Do you see at the bottom of the screen? If I move the D-pad, then obviously all my shortcuts. Oh look, it tells you the games. All my shortcuts are the joypad. If I press a key, because I'm using this on keyboard and not a joypad, then all the shortcuts become keys, and they're little rubber mat keys. Oh, this is so good. And also, listen to that AY chip. Goodness. So we have Alien Girl, which I'm assuming that's homebrew, but classic Ant-Attack. Army Moves. Obviously, they've had to license all these, so I don't know if it's... I mean, I've heard that most of them are good, but Army Moves, really? Anyway, I'll be just saying Monty, classic. Avalon, classic. Bobby Bearing, classic. Cosmic Payback, I'm assuming, by all means correct me, that's homebrew, as is that. Not sure about that. Exelon, Fairlight, Firelord, Football, yes, because you had to. You had to. Good call. Freddy Hardest. Alright, yeah. Great Escape, one of the greatest Spectrum games ever made. As is Head Over Heels, Highway Encounter, absolutely amazing. The Hobbit, my brother completed that. I have nostalgia for it, but I just don't know what I'm doing. Horoscope Skiing, goes without saying that has to be on there. Jack the Nipper, classic, not in 3D, never heard of it. Lords of Midnight, again I have a massive amount of nostalgia for back in the day, but I just don't have a Scooby how to play. Manic Miner, obviously. Match Day 2, obviously. Movie, controversial. Nodes of Isod. Penetrate, yes, basically it's Scramble. Fantis, Game Over 2. Phoenix, Pyrocus, Quasitron, amazing game. Balls Hard, Robin of the Wood, Saboteur, made just down the road from here in Taunton. Shovel Adventure, that's homebrew, isn't it? I'm sure I've done a gameplay of that. School Days, basically open world, open school before open world existed. Now, when you're on a game, if you press up, it obviously gives you a description of the game and shows you the controls on the keyboard, on the joystick. Right, and then if we press down, we have 4 save states. Look at that delicious looking tape. I do like that attention to detail. And then if we go into, this is a nice place to be. This is a nice place to be. If we go into start, was it select? Yeah. Display options, we'll have a look at display options. Sharp pixels, enable CRT effect. I'm going for sharp pixels, I don't do CRT effects. And then look. Alright game, easy there. Some technical difficulties, i.e. me being la retard. There we go. So, because you have to keep it to some degree, because some games used the border effect, didn't they? For, you know, no, like, you're taking damage and stuff like that. And then we got enable extended colours, which is something that happened on, there you go, emulate ULA plus colours when supported by games, something that happened later on in the system's life. B, back, language, don't need to worry about that. Advanced options. I keep pressing the wrong button. Right, system options, boot mode. So yeah, you can either boot into carousel or you can boot into classic mode, which is basic, basic programming language of the Spectrum. So we want to come back from there, switch to classic mode, system information, legal notices, shutdown device, factory reset. There we go, let's have a look. I mean, I can't remember, I could type print, quotation, something, quotation, enter, but you know what I mean. We'll have a look in here anyway. So, 2024 retro games, because we can't use Sinclair. And it's got that noise! That's brilliant. And you can actually program, see I've got an open session now, top right hand corner, that's what this does. So you can return to it. That's what these machines do, I should say, all of their retro games machines, well the A500 does. But if you program a game, or a program I should say, just a regular program, then you can actually save it. Right, so I guess let's have a look at a couple of games. So we have the Exploding Fist, Chef's Kiss. Oh look, there's a bunch of games I missed. Target Renegade, Chef's Kiss, Star Strike 2, Star Squeak, Spellbound. These Mastertronic Ad Dimension Magic Knight games were amazing. So I'm going to go away the Exploding Fist. A, and we're in the game. So if we press start and select, so look, we get virtual keyboard. I'm not sure why. I mean, I've got the Spectrum on my lap, but is that just because? Why not? Set controls for player 1. So we press 1. Use default layout. Use Sinclair joystick 2. Use Kempston keyboard. Oh, I say memories, but I've played this game loads. So I'm the dude on the left. Turn around. Why am I struggling to turn around? So it's a combination of moves without fire and then moves with fire. There we go, that's how I do that. So that's just down and forward. And I'm aware I'm sucking at this. I'm used to playing it on a Wiimote sideways, to be fair. Right, demo. Skip that. Skip, skip, skip. Skip to the end. See, I think this is... Well, it's not... It's colourful. Is there's two buttons. I just worked that out because I'm obviously playing it on this. Colourful is the Commodore 64. I think the graphics are just as good because they're sharp. Oh, cheeky! Yeah, I was pressing the wrong button. But, you get my drift. This looks fantastic. Oh, shintastic. And obviously it's not coming out of the Spectrum itself. So if we press home, then we go back. And then if I press down, and then press A, I've saved that. There. That's well tidy. Where was Target Renegade? Gotta get a bit of Target Renegade in your life, haven't you? Can you imagine if they put Renegade 3 on here? Bosh. Oh, that's a bit loud. 5, music on. 5, music off. Control options. I can't believe I get pinged for copyright on this. Player 1 keys. I'm going to play this on keyboard then. O left, P right. They feel so nice, those keys. And then M. Player 2. Doesn't matter. You still got to set it in though. And then 1 player. Oh! I've played all these games before, but do you know what? Playing it on this keyboard, and it's just fantastic. I'm going to knee you in the plums. No, I'm not. My God, the memory's coming back of playing games on a rubbery, zombie-feeling keyboard. I say that because it feels like dead flesh. I have got it. Oh! Best fighting game on it. Well, side-scrolling fighting game, because the best fighting game on it is Where the Exploding Fist. And they added that you could fly and kick forward. And if this is the 128K version, I should be able to punch you when you're on the floor. Anyway, home. And then we'll have a look at something else. Obviously that's a 128K only game. And the fact that I was getting the is it in here? Oh yeah, obviously if you press start and you got a game open, you resume it like that. But 4 save slots per game as well, so cool. Yeah, so the fact that we get the 128K using Target Renegade means that, obviously, is it in here, advanced options, that we don't need, oh yeah, got your music option there, system information, no it's not in here, we don't need to set it to 48K, 128K, so cool. Like I said, this is just a bit of a rushed overview. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of stuff, but where's Head Over Heels? There we go. The classic. They should have put Batman on it, but I'm guessing DC wouldn't let them. Ooh, and then, yep, enter to select. Right, play the game, select the keys. I don't want to select the keys. I want to, what do I do for controls? Press any key to move cursor, enter to select the keys. Oh, it's got a really awkward to find key screen, hasn't it, this? Yeah, so left, joy, 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 joy. Okay, that goes, so that, without saying so. Oh, fuck it, new key for joy left. That's right, enter to finish. Enter, no, any key to move cursor. Shift. God, it's been ages since I've had to use this keyboard. That's so weird and cool at the same time. Right. Then, play the game. Just touching this keyboard is fantastic. Yep. Ah, yeah, so select. So, button 2 is select between head and heels. Is that going to kill me? Yeah. I've played this recently in the Amstrad, so I should know better than that. Got to use space for jump. To be fair, the last time I played it was on the Super Console X, and it's all obviously mapped differently. But teleporter. Notice the rabbit in the top left hand corner? God knows how you get that. I know, this is another one of the examples of Spectrum games. I never completed it, but I absolutely loved it. Because heels runs really fast, but doesn't jump high. Head is a bit slower, but he can glide, so you can get over the toaster. You're supposed to be able to get over the toaster. Right, anyway, that's enough of that. Let's have a look at something else. Oh, we can Jack the Nipper, not 3D, I don't know. I'm quite surprised that that's on here. But anyway, I'm not going to load a game, but what happens is, if you put the games, you know, whether it's TZX, TAP file, whatever 3 ones it is on here, or 2 ones, you know, in the correct structure on a memory card, and you stick it in the machine, like, you know, the A500 Mini and the C64 Mini, it shows up at the bottom, then you just select it, then you just get a text menu of the games, but you can play them. But, I mean, they've ironed out the creases at this point, but it's just a nice place to be. Look at it, like, oh, that's a proper old one. Look at this. No, it's a new one. Sorry. Oh, I'm confused with a different game. Homebrew, I think. I do like the fact that I have to select like the controls every time. You're using it like a proper Spectrum. Right, so forward, down, forward, up. You can only go up 3 times. I have done a gameplay of this. It's a puzzle game. Yoink. Oh, you can piss along. Clearly inspired by Snake, I get that. But I don't get that. Oh, I can just do that. I thought I had to ceiling hug. I worked out what I'm doing wrong. Fuck it. You have to go left and right. Puzzle game, and I didn't make it past the second screen. Anyway, we'll have to look at one more thing. Not when time sits there. Ant attack. This was groundbreaking, mind, when it came out. Absolutely groundbreaking. Right, boy or girl. Couldn't have that now, could you? Just saying. Welcome to Ant Attack. I don't know what the controls are. Oh yes. Tank controls. And they are sensitive on this D-pad. Take me away from all this. Jump. You gotta jump. Because if you land on them, you paralyse them. The problem is, when you're in the middle of the mix, you can't see what way you're facing. Anyway, back we go again. So I'm sure there's a ton of stuff I'm missing, but I will probably do a follow-up video to this, and I'll probably do a video on all the games that you should load onto it yourself. But yeah, well done, Retro Games. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. What a nice, you know, easy to use layout and stuff. Well done, Retro Games. So yeah, what can I say about this? I probably made navigating the menus look a little bit more difficult than it actually is. That's not the machine's fault. It's not you. It's me. That's just me being cack-handed, as I always am on these things. But it's a really, really nice place to be. I didn't put it on the camera, but yeah, it's you hold down home. And then you press backwards on the D-pad and you can rewind the game by up to 40 seconds. So that feature is in here. Like I said, I might do an update video to this. I might not. I'm sure there's a bunch of better videos. Well, this is me. Of course there's a bunch of better videos out there than me. But yeah, it's a very, very, very nice place to be. It does everything you would expect it to do because they've nailed it, the form factor, you know, in the menus at this point. But yeah, the thing that really, especially when I was playing that game on the keyboard, the thing that I cannot get over is, and the nostalgia obviously is strong with me for this, so, you know, should you buy this if you never owned a Spectrum, you're not going to get that connection, but the tactile feeling of these rubber keys. I mean, can you hear that? I mean, that noise takes me back to being 7. It just, oh, and they feel so good. And the fact that this is metal, you know, and it's curved like the original. They could have just cut it off at the edges, and there is weight to this. I don't know what's in this. I'm sure it's a very, very cheap system. I'm sure the plastic, because look at this, is adding a weight to it. Or maybe they just stuck a metal plate in it. But well done for doing that, because it just feels like a Spectrum. I mean, just obviously I'm gushing. This is just fantastic. This is the best thing they've done so far. The attention to detail in this is superb. They didn't go for a mini because obviously that's been done before, hasn't it? I say mini, it's more of a handheld. Remember the Vega, the original one, the good one, or the less than shit one? And they didn't do that route. They just went straight for a maxi. Like I said at the start of this video, is that just because obviously the size of the machine makes it easy to do so, or they just knew that the market or demographic they were aiming for. Should you buy this? If you're a ZX Spectrum fan like me, I know everyone's going to say, but I can emulate this on everything. Good for you, we all need life goals. Then you're not a fucking Spectrum fan. Buy this, seriously. And even if you got the original hardware, buy this, seriously. It's just, I don't know, it's just new, old tech done properly. There is just something very special about this product. I'd like to buy each and every one of the people responsible for this machine a pint. But only if there's only like 4 of them, because otherwise it might get a bit expensive. But yeah, but if you did own a Spectrum, then get on this as well, because honestly, just... And obviously if you did, but you don't now, which I guess is who this is mainly aimed at, get on it, because you won't be disappointed just because of the squishy keyboard, which is the greatest sensation in the world, and only a Spectrum owner, original Spectrum owner, knows that. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you got one of these. This was a bit of a cack-handed video, but fuck it, I had to make it because it's, you know, the ZX Spectrum, or the Spectrum, the Bart, the. See what I did there? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.